One of the most hotly debated and discussed issues in essays writing is how to write introductions. I find students coming and asking me this as a very, very common question. And the formula that students have learned or maybe heard about is write introductions through stories. Or write introduction through using quotes and proverbs. People ask me, sir, I know a sloka from Gita and can I write it in the essays as introduction? You tell me, if you look at the editorial articles of newspaper, any editorial articles, tell me how many articles are written in a story beginning format. How many articles have a quotation based beginning or a sloka based beginning? It is not a formula for a good essay. These articles are actually examples of good essays, argumentative essays, where the essay is taken and debated through different dimensions. The essays have some points to push across and persuade the reader, and they develop the essay accordingly without starting in a story. Yes, some of them might use data and facts. They can use some statistics to drive home a point. But the idea that a good essay means story beginning, not necessary. And I've seen students try very pathetic and ordinary stories. There was a boy Ram, he was walking in the streets, he came across a beggar who was crying, and Ram felt very, very sad. He had empathy, he gave him some alms and he felt good and he walked home. That's not the type of story you must write. There was a girl called Geeta, living in the village of parents who wanted to study a lot. She couldn't go to school, but then she did A, B, C, D, and finally she had to go to school. That's not a good story. Story-based writing requires a different type of a skill. It's a style of writing which if you can master, it will help you. But don't force a story where you're not used to story-based introductions. Another aspect, writing slokas from Gita. For most of us, we have a very, very narrow range of exposure to such kind of content. So it's not a formula beginning. I teach a technique called a thesis writing, where you take up a topic and you write a thesis, which is writing the core demand of the topic. Reading the introduction should tell the reader what the writing is about, what your stand is, and what are the interesting dimensions you will develop your essay with. While some of them know theses, but the type of theses they write are very, very incorrect theses. They are not taught properly, and therefore they write theses like, I will write so and so point in this essay. In this essay, we will explore 1, 2, 3, 4 dimension. That's a Formula 1 which is not a good reading. The best illustrations to good essays writing introductions are read the good analytical articles of newspapers and magazines. I will be teaching you thesis writing. I'll teach you smart introductions so that your essays can fetch very good marks. Join us for Edukemy's essay course.